Hi everybody, I'm Elise from the blog LePetitSaintCrochet.com, and you've been asking for this video, and I am so excited to be finally bringing this topic to you, which is all about beginner knitted toy patterns. This is so fun. When you guys started asking me for this video, I ended up going on this rabbit trail, no pun intended here, of looking through all of these adorable beginner knitted patterns. While this isn't an exhaustive list, it is a list that I feel like will get your wheels turning. You will start to be able to find easy, beginner-friendly patterns. I really think you guys are gonna love these 6 beginner-friendly patterns. First of all, I want to make sure that you know that you will find links to everything in the description box below, but I'm also going to have a free downloadable resource where you're gonna find all of this information so that you don't have to take notes, you don't need to do any of that, you can just get your free downloadable resource. It can be really frustrating when you're looking for a pattern and you're really excited to find the perfect toy and you think, all right, I'm going to be able to do this pattern, only to discover that it is a little bit outside of your difficulty level, or it's just way too hard and you're like, I'm never going to find a cute toy to knit. But today I really have some adorable knitted toy patterns. They are really for beginners. Now, some of them are for absolute beginners and some of them are for those of you who are already knitters, but you're ready to start tackling toys. So the first recommendation that I have is that if you are an absolute beginner, you need to start with toys that are knit flat. I would look for toys if you're looking on Etsy or Ravelry, or you've done a Google search. Make sure you're looking for toys that are knit on 2 needles and that they are knit flat, because that gives you the greatest chance of success. Now, if you are already comfortable knitting flat and maybe you're ready to start tackling in the round patterns, that's another great way to move up in your skill level, because knitting flat requires that you do more seaming. So a lot of people who are already knitters like to do the in the round method because you have a lot less seaming to do. If you are already comfortable with double point needles or magic loop knitting, you might want to look at the in the round patterns. But like I said, if you are an absolute beginner, I'm going to steer you towards the knit flat patterns, and I have more of those than I do of the in the round patterns. The first one we're going to talk about is the bunny Softy pattern from Handy Little Me. This little bunny from Handy Little Me is so adorable. When I first started looking for knitted toy patterns for beginners, this was one of the very first ones I found on Pinterest, and immediately I fell in love with this little sleepy face. It looks a little crabby, maybe a little sleepy, I don't know, but I love it. I just thought this one looked really simple. And when I looked at the pattern on the website, which is a free pattern by the way, you can see that it is basically 2 little squares here from the front and the back of the body, and then you've got 2 little arms, 2 little legs, and 2 little ears. The arms and legs are actually little rectangles with some simple decreases towards the end, and the ears are pretty much the same. There's just some simple decreasing in the ear parts right here as well. So it's not difficult, but you are going to need to learn how to mattress seam if you haven't done that before. I have a link in the description box or in your free resource for my favorite tutorial for mattress seaming. And mattress seaming is one of those things that just takes a little bit of practice, but this video explains it very well. And I just want to encourage you that when you're first beginning, that you might not like the look of your mattress seaming, and it is just one of those skills that takes practice, 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 and more practice. I still can improve my mattress seaming. It is not perfect, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you become with it, and you just have to practice. It's just one of those things, like a basketball player isn't going to make those 3-point shots if they don't practice, 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 and they're gonna miss a whole lot of them before they make those shots. So just think of it like that. Remember that making mistakes is not wrong. It's part of the learning process. You learn so much by making mistakes, and especially if you try to correct them. As a beginner, you're going to make mistakes and you might not be happy with the final product, but I guarantee you that you learned a lot in the process. So take that and make the next one better and make the next one better so that you're constantly improving your skills. And don't get discouraged when you make mistakes, because that's part of the process, and if you're not making mistakes, then you're not challenging yourself enough. but I want to talk about the yarn and the needles that I used for this toy. So for this toy, I used my favorite Barocco vintage in the colors Buttercream and Duck's Egg. This is a great yarn, and one of the reasons it is so great is that it is a beautiful wool blend, but it is also strong. You need a yarn that you can actually do mattress seaming with, and you do not want a yarn that if you pull on it a little bit, it's going to break. That is not good for knitting toys. Now, my other suggestion is getting the right knitting needles. I used my Addi Turbo Rocket needles. These are my absolute favorites. I love them so very much, and one of my favorite things about them is that the ends are actually pretty pointy, and that helps so much when you are doing little stitches and you're doing decreases and increases. It helps to have a pointy needle. I really like metal because wood or plastic kind of drags on the stitches. It just is not great. So check them out. I have links for the yarn and the needles in the description box below or in the free resource that you can download. So now, as I am sharing the different knitted toy patterns, I'm going to be going in order from easiest to most difficult. So they're all beginner patterns, but some of them are easier than others. And although we already skipped ahead and we talked about the bunny Softy from Handy Little Me, this is actually number 3. Now we're going to go back and go to the easiest, the number 1 easiest knitted toy pattern that you are ever going to find, and it is the One Square Stuffed Bunny by Gina Michelle. She claims that this is the easiest knitted toy pattern there is, and I agree with her. I think that you can't get any easier than this. So if you are brand new to knitting, you really are learning how to cast on, knit, and purl, you should do this one, because basically you just make a square, and then she shows you in her free tutorial on her blog, she shows you how to turn it into a bunny. There is a little bit of seaming, but it's very minimal, and you will just get used to knitting and purling and learning about construction of toys, and I think it is perfect for the total, absolute, brand new beginner. This is the pattern for you. I am so excited to be bringing you this next pattern. So it is the second easiest knitted toy pattern in this group, and I absolutely love this designer. She is very new to me, and she is Kukla Creations. Now, these are paid patterns. They're not expensive, but the very first one is this little piggy. This little piggy is the absolute cutest little beginner pattern. I love it so very much. This is one that maybe you're comfortable already knitting and purling, and you can do those things, and you're ready for something a little bit more than the One Square Rabbit. And what I love about it is that it has so much personality. It's so cute. She has tons of sales and tons of great reviews. So although I have never knit this pattern, I guarantee you that it is a wonderful quality pattern. That's one of the hallmarks of a great pattern, is that a lot of people are buying it and a lot of people have given it 4 and 5 stars. So I would 100% check out Kukla Creations on Etsy. Obviously, you're going to find a link for it in the description box and in my free downloadable resource, but also she has some other little patterns that are so cute. The other one I really like is her Quick and Easy Cats. They're so cute. I love cats, I love pigs, I love bunnies, I love all the animals. She has them all. They're so very cute. So she also has another pattern set that I think is really unique for a beginner pattern, and that is her pattern set called Peter's Pals. I was reading the description of this pattern and I just thought it was wonderful. If I'm remembering it right, it was her son that had drawn these little animals, and she decided to make patterns for them. And what's great is that it's a basic pattern, and then you can add different parts and little pieces and little things here and there to make it a different animal. So it comes in so many different little animals, and they are adorable, so cute. You have to check these out. I really highly recommend these Kukla Creations patterns. I think you're really gonna love them. I keep using the word cute, and that's exactly what they are. They are so cute. So we are skipping number 3 because remember, where did I put it? I've lost my bunny rabbit. Where did I put the bunny rabbit? Oh, he fell. So remember, the little bunny Softy is actually number 3. So we're gonna move on to number 4, and it is the Amigurumi Knit Monster by Amy Gaines. I love this pattern. I love monsters. They're so cute. And what I really love about this one is that this one is taking it up just a little bit. So you're gonna start changing colors. You're going to start start sewing on a few more pieces, and if you're ready for that, this is going to be a great one. Amy Gaines also has tons of sales and tons of really great reviews, so although I have never knit this pattern, it is one that I know is a quality pattern. Also, this is the last of our knit flat pattern, so this one is still knit flat. I actually prefer knitting flat, even though I can use double point needles. And what's kind of interesting, especially if you're coming from crocheting, we crochet everything in the round when it comes to amigurumi. I have never seen a crocheted toy that was crocheted flat and then seamed it together. So if you are an amigurumi crochet lover, you might really connect with these next in the round patterns, but you really actually need to know the fundamentals of knitting and purling and increasing and decreasing, in my opinion, before you start moving on to in the round, because it's a little more tricky. We're gonna go ahead and get to those right now. So the next pattern, and the first one in our in the round category, it's actually number 5 as far as order of difficulty, but it is the easiest of the in the round patterns. It is Family Purr by Verily Knits, and I just love this little set of cats. There are 3 different sizes, and what I love about it is that this is the perfect pattern for getting used to double point needles. If you're confident with your flat knitting and you're ready to either tackle DPNs, or you're already an experienced knitter and you know how to work in the round, but you just need your very first knitted toy pattern to kind of wrap your mind around construction and all of those things. One of the things that I think is really great about it is that there is minimal embroidery on the face, and I think that that is one of the things that makes knitting toys more difficult sometimes, is if you have to do a lot of shaping and embroidering on the face. So this one is very minimal. Also, there's very little seaming that is going to need to be done because it's just kind of like a little round shape. It doesn't look like there's much to seam on. If you're ready for DPNs or you're already super comfortable, I think that this is such an adorable pattern. I really think that this is fun for cat lovers, even if you are an experienced knitter. This one's a really cute pattern, especially for us crazy cat ladies out there. The final pattern is from Danger Crafts. It is Iris the Gourmet Monster. Now this one is going to be a little bit tougher. This one is going to be that maybe you're an advanced beginner, you're comfortable with knitting in the round, and you're ready to maybe push your skills just a little bit. This is the perfect pattern for that. Danger Crafts has tons of sales and tons of really good reviews. So I am confident that this is going to be a great pattern. This pattern is knit in the round with the magic loop method. You could use DPNs, but this one is magic loop. I actually really like the magic loop method. I will also have a link for that. Remember, in that free resource or in the description box below, I have a great tutorial that I think is fantastic for learning how to do the magic loop. This is such an adorable little monster. I love monsters. What I love about it too is that you can use variegated yarn, you could use a self-striping yarn, you could use lots of really cool yarns with this pattern. So you're going to learn some additional skills, and this one is probably on the line of an advanced beginner, probably starting to get into an intermediate pattern, but I wanted to share it with you guys because this is one that you will learn some really great skills like picking up stitches, all of those great things. And I know that you guys are going to think all of the Danger Crafts patterns are so adorable, so I wanted to include it in here for you. So remember, this one is the most difficult of all of the patterns that I have listed. It's in the round, but I want you to check it out when you're ready to stretch your skills just a little bit. I really hope that you enjoyed this video all about knitted toy patterns for beginners. I really enjoyed looking into this for you guys. I really enjoyed knitting my own bunny Softy by Handy Little Me, and I want to encourage you, I said this at the beginning, but I'm gonna say it again. Making mistakes is part of the learning process, and if you're not making mistakes, it means that you're not challenging yourself enough. So get comfortable with making mistakes, get comfortable with being frustrated sometimes, and push through it, because you will be able to make these toys if you persevere, if you push through. I talked about this in my Amigurumi 101 video called Never Give Up. One of the character traits that I used to have was I was a serial quitter. I would quit when things got hard, but I was at such a point in my life that I needed some happiness and something to focus on, that I persevered and I pushed through with crocheted toys when I made my little Victor Frog. I want to encourage you to push past when you feel frustrated. excited because there are a lot of helps out there. There are tons of tutorials and videos. You'll find them on my channel. You will find them on other channels. Look for Amigurumi, knitted toy videos, all of these resources that are available to help you. You can do this. You just gotta persevere, and when it gets hard, put it down and walk away for a little while. Don't give up. Come back to it. I know you can do it. Thank you guys so much for spending a little bit of time with me today and my sleepy little bunny. As always, if you would please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below where you're from. I love it. And I've been hearing from people from, where was it? It was Denmark. I know I heard from Denmark. I always hear from you lovely ladies from Yorkshire in the UK. I've heard from Ireland and Brazil and all of these amazing places. So thank you so much for sharing where you're from and what you're working on. But make sure to get your free downloadable resource, and I will see you guys next week with a new video. So stay safe out there and happy stitching.